Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful summer weekend. As a reminder, next Monday is Juneteenth Day, so it's another nice summer little one-day vacation we all get since the markets are closed. So both 5Q and EC will be closed, and hopefully you will be too, and enjoying the summer, hopefully good weather that you have. As a reminder, last week, 5Q breakdown, the tape breakdown. Here's how do we explain what Morningstar is to a client? And how do we get a client to then validate that anything Morningstar says is believable and should be paid attention to? So make sure if you do use Morningstar for sure, listen to this tape. Make sense? So found this article and I thought it was really pertinent to us. So 3/4 of financial professionals believe protection is important in the context of retirement income. 86% of investors do. So that's a opportunity for us. Why? Because more investors think they need to worry about safety than and financial professionals do. So guys, again, shouldn't have all your money in the market, shouldn't have all your money out of the market, but should be somewhere between 40, 60, 50-50, 60-40. And remember, this is something that people are concerned about. Are people trying to double the amount of money they have in retirement, or are they trying to make sure that they can live the same lifestyle now every single year before they pass away? So we are doing the right things, and you should be leveraging that and talking about that. Make sense? So JP Morgan is developing a chat GPT, like a artificial intelligence service that gives investment advice. Thanks, Tom, for sending me this article. So JP Morgan is developing a chat GPT-like software service that leans on disruptive form of artificial intelligence to select investments for customers. The company applied a trademark to the product called Index GPT earlier this month. It's an AI program to select financial securities, said the trademark lawyer Josh Gerben. This sounds to me like they're trying to put my financial advisor out of business. Financial advisors have long feared the arrival of technology good enough to displace their roles in the market. Those fears have largely yet to materialize. However, wealth management firms like Morgan Stanley and Bank of America offer simple robo-advisors, but this hasn't stopped their human advisors from gathering billions more in assets. We couldn't discuss AI without mentioning GPT and large language models. We've recognized the power and opportunity of these tools and committed to exploring all the ways we can deliver the value to the firm. So guys, is wealth management, is the clock ticking on wealth management? I want yays or nays. What I mean by clock ticking, is there a point in time, sooner rather than later, that AI is going to start going to be used for picking stocks by the general public versus going to advisors or paying for wealth management? If all they're doing is picking stocks, because guys, here's the thing. They have found actually 5 years ago, what is better at finding tumors, a radiologist with 12 years schooling and 20 years experience, or AI? Which one's better? A radiologist to find tumors with 20 years experience, 12 years of schooling. Which one's better, AI or the radiologist? AI, but not by a little, but by a lot. Have you been paying attention to what's happening with AI and GPT? It can pass the law. It can pass the law exam now, the bar exam now. Again, guys, and is this as far as it's going to go, or are we scratching the very beginning of AI? The AI in itself will improve AI. Do you get that? AI in itself will improve AI. It's because it'll be an exponential improvement. That's why a lot of experts are saying, holy crap, this is something we need to be worried about. So guys, do you really think the average stock picker is going to be, or even the above average, or even the professional stock picker is going to be able to compete with AI? I'm telling you, they ain't going to be able to. They ain't going to be able to. You want proof of that? We're at its infancy right now. So ChatGPT can pick stocks better than your fund manager. This is right out of CNN Business. A basket of stocks selected by ChatGPT, not even AI designed to find the best stocks, but ChatGPT, the most basic one that you and I can get, powered by AI, was far outperformed some of the most popular investment funds in the United Kingdom. Between March 6th and April 28th, the dummy portfolio of 38 stocks gained 4.9%, while 10 leading investment funds clocked an average of 0.8. 4.9 versus that's five-fold increase. It wouldn't be long until large numbers of consumers try to use ChatGPT. And again, this is ChatGPT, just a general AI, not even designed to be a stock picker. Over the same 8-week period, the S&P 500 rose 3%. So 3.9 versus 3 versus 0.8 for the average fund manager. The analysis asked ChatGPT to select stocks based on commonly used criteria, including picking companies with low debt level, track record of growth, and so Microsoft, Netflix, and Walmart were companies selected. While major funds have used AI for years to support their investment decisions, ChatGPT has put the technology in the hands of the general public with potential to guide decisions of retail investors. The survey of 2,000 UK adults conducted finally last week showed that 8% have already used ChatGPT for financial advice, while 19% said they would consider doing so. And guys, are we at the beginning, the infancy of AI, or are we at a well-developed? Are you starting to see that if you're not planning, if your business model does not plan for AI 2, 3, 4 years from now, what's going to happen to your business? If do not already have a plan laid out how to deal with AI, 2, 3, and at most 4, what's going to happen to your business? ChatGPT versus financial advisor. We asked both one question: how much should I have saved for retirement? Here's how they stacked up. ChatGPT said, the amount you should have saved for retirement depends on various factors, including your age, lifestyle, retirement goals. Here are some general guidelines to consider. Retirement goals. First, consider what type of retirement lifestyle you want. Do you plan to travel extensively, downsize your home, work part-time? All of these factors will impact the amount you need to save. Retirement age is another factor. Age at which you plan to retire will also affect how much you need to save. If you plan to retire earlier, you'll need to save more to cover the living expenses for a long period of time. Social Security. Benefits can provide income during retirement, but they may not be enough to cover all expenses. Consider how much you receive Social Security benefits and factor into your retirement savings plan. Current savings. Take a look at your current retirement savings plans. Estimate how much you will have at the time to retire, and if you're behind savings, save more. As a general rule, the financial advisors often suggest retirees should aim to at least 7. Again, guys, this is still ChatGPT that you could type this into your computer, ChatGPT, free to use. This is still what it's saying. As a general rule, financial advisors suggest you should aim for at least replacing 70% to 80% of your pre-retirement income. This means that if you currently make $100,000, you should aim to have $70,000 to $80,000 per year in retirement income. To achieve this, you may need to save between 10 and 15% of your annual income. It's important to remember that your retirement savings goals are not one size fits all. It's always a good idea to consult a financial advisor who can help you determine retirement savings needs based on your individual retirement goals. Looking for a new advisor, If you should need, it should be noted that much of this response from ChatGPT was directly pulled from various stories and topics from Bankrate, Motley Fool, Investigated, to name a few. Guys, how did that robot do? How did that free, in its infancy, I mean, we're talking AI in its infancy, and it will be exponentially getting better. How did it do? How did it do? Could you, in fact, how many of you guys could have written this as well? Are you getting what I'm saying here? If you're looking for simple directional advice to learn about retirement, ChatGPT can deliver. It's simple to use and free. You can also ask it follow-up questions for more detail. You can ask a question about retirement goals. You can ask a question, and guess what it's going to do? Guys, where is the AI pulling it from? Where is the AI pulling its information from? You saw where it's pulling it from, right? Bankrate, Motley Fool, Investopedia. From Yahoo resources or very well-respected resources. And we're at the infancy of artificial intelligence. We're at the infancy. It's exponentially going to grow over time. Human intelligence is not going to grow. So what is the remedy for that then, guys? Should you try to become a better stock picker? Should you try to find a better money manager? Should you try to find a better mutual fund? Should you try to find a better stocks? Should any of your business revolve around finding better investments? If your business is revolving around finding better investments or giving generalized retirement information, because how long before you'll be able to put in information into a financial plan, answer 50 questions, and AI is going to develop a plan for you? How long do you think that's going to be? Yeah, I would agree, Artie, 2 years. I think that's about, yeah, now, Andre. So, guys, what's the remedy then? What is the remedy? Tom's got it. Artie's got it. Yeah, everybody's getting the answer now. Number one, it's being able to conduct motivational interviewing. AI is going to ask open-ended questions and guide the client to where they need to go, or the AI is going to tell, sell, preach, and teach what to happen, just like every other advisor. Is AI going to use open-ended questions in motivational interviewing, or is it going to be telling, selling, preaching, and teaching? Yeah, Andre, do what the AI can't do. Is the AI going to be able to use motivational interviewing like we teach you to do? It is not. Is it going to be able to GOTS people getting on their side? Is it going to be able to GOTS people? Is it going to be able to use the 21-point checklist to explain, have the client explain to themselves why they cannot trust the AI? Because, guys, remember, if Morgan Stanley has an AI, or if Merrill Lynch has an AI, you're darn well for sure they're going to guide that AI to what? Be in the client's best interest first and their best interest second, or in the company's best interest first and the client's second? Which way do you think it's going to go? Because they're developing the AI. So will the 21-point checklist still work against AI that's being offered by some company? Heck yeah. See, 5Q, first of all, for 25 years, has been your ticket to beat out every single human advisor. Well, now we're going into a new generation that we're up against the robots, the AIs, and the robot. I'm not talking about investment robots. Those things are Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz compared to what's happening with AI right now. I mean, what's happening with AI right now is the 2001 Space Odyssey, HAL, talking to HAL. So we're moving that direction very rapidly. But the stuff we're teaching with 5Q will still work against that. But your competitors, who their whole emphasis is on money management, what's going to happen to their business model? God forbid. If you think, guys, what do you think of anybody on the call right now that thinks I'm full of crap? What's going to happen to them a few years from now? Are they going to think I'm full of crap anymore, or are they going to be working at the local McDonald's? If you are not paying attention to this, guys, you've got your head in the sand. You're selling IBM Selectrics right now. That's what you're doing. You're selling IBM Selectric typewriters as compared to word processors. That's it. If that's all you're worried about is getting somebody a better rate of return on the stocks, you are, I'm telling you, screwed in a very short period of time in the future. Make sense? And guys, how many of you think I'm being chicken little right now? Yay or nay, being chicken little right now? And how it's going to affect your business? Yay or nay? Everybody's saying no, they get it. I'm not being chicken little. This is the way things are going. Make sense? So if I made a good pitch for learning 5Q and the skills and the non-financial things and having them learn the client, teaching the client to tell themselves why they need to move to you and trust you. Okay? Please, please, please pay attention. So today we want to talk about one of those skills, which is objections. And 2 months ago, I was talking about when we use GOTS for an objection, we have to tell them for 3 to 5 minutes why what their objection is correct. And a lot of you said that you wanted me to show you how to do that. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. So there are 4 pillars. There are 4 pillars to our system. One is mutual respect. I respect the client, but guess what I expect back? The client must respect me. Now let's talk about that a second. If somebody's being rude to me, abrupt to me, how do I handle that, guys? See if anybody knows this. If somebody's being rude or very abrupt with me, how do I deal with that? Nick's got it. How do I deal with that? Here's how I deal with that. So can you guys just put your 2 index fingers together in front of your face? Make your 2 index fingers touch. Now push with your right finger. What happens to your left finger when you push with the right finger? The left finger gives, right? It gives. Is that a good relationship if one person is pushing and the other one gives? Is that creating a good relationship between you and your client? No. So what you want to do is when the right finger pushes, push equally back with the left finger. So what I'm saying there, if somebody is abrupt with me, guess what I get? Abrupt back. I don't get mad, but if they start to get short and abrupt, one word answers me, guess what I do? I get one word answers back. If they start to get rude with me, what do? Do I put up with it? No, I stop the meeting. I stop the meeting and say, listen, I'm sorry. Whatever I said to offend you, whatever I did to offend you, whatever has occurred in the last 5 minutes to make you upset, I'm sorry. For whatever, I did not mean to upset you. I did not mean to do anything that was going to make you adversarial. So whatever I did, I apologize. And then guess what I do after I say that? What do you think I do after I say that? See how many of you are professional salespeople? After I say that, what do I do? Ah, John's got it. John said, keep quiet. That's right. Then I shut up and I just lean back in my chair and I look at them and I wait for them to address why they're being pissy. Now, I apologize to them. I said, hey, whatever I did to offend you, I'm sorry. Whatever I said to offend, I'm sorry. Whatever, I'm not trying to be upset. I'm here to lower your stress, not raise your stress. So whatever, I apologize. And then I shut up. And whenever that happens, then whoever talks first, what? Whoever speaks first, what? Loses. That's right, Artie, loses. So I don't continue till they explain, and inevitably when I do that, and again, that would only happen like 3 or 4 times a year once I knew motivational interviewing and knew GOTS. It didn't happen very often. But when I did that, inevitably, guess what they would do? Guess what they would end up doing? What do you think they would end up doing? They'd apologize. I'm sorry, we just had, it's been a really hard week and blah, blah. They would start to explain to themselves. And then I would say, oh, no problem. It's no problem. I just want to make sure it wasn't something that I did to upset you. But guess what I've done by doing that? First of all, have I sped up the meeting or have I slowed down the meeting by doing that? I slowed the meeting way down. And I've also told them what? We're not going to continue until what? We're not going to continue this meeting until what? We're not going to continue the conversation until you fix your attitude. Because really, is there any sense, guys, moving forward? I don't care if it's 1 minute in or 1 hour in. Is there any point moving forward if that client's getting upset with me and getting abrupt with me and getting rude? Is there any point of moving forward? None whatsoever. So that makes sense? That's mutual respect. Number 2 is motivational interviewing. Don't tell, sell, preach, or teach. Let them tell you what they want to do. Get invited in. Never offer anything. Always ask for their permission to give them information. And the last thing is overcome the objection before they bring it up. This is what we'd rather do. Guys, we've talked about this with all the scripts we've been going over for the past year, one by one. It's been about a year now that of us going over those 21-point checklist scripts one by one. And in those, I always apologize, many times apologize to you and say, listen, I'm sorry this script is so long, but the reason I do it is why. I'm sorry that this part of the script is in here and this part of the script in here, but the reason I do it is why, guys. Why are each of the scripts for the 21 as long as they are? Because what am I doing before I actually get to the point? What do I do before I actually get to the point? I'm having them tell me, see, when I was creating this, I've got common objections for each one of those 21 things. I get common objections, common objections, common objections. The best way to overcome that is to deal with those objections is to cover them or overcome them before they bring them up. So many parts of the scripts, the first part of the scripts is about the client telling me that whatever a lot of people in the past have made as objections is not a problem for them. Does that make sense? Do you remember me saying that? Can I get a yay or nay? Do you remember me saying that through these other scripts? The reason I'm doing this is because this is a common objection. I got it, and I didn't want them to bring that up. So once they say that's not an objection, they can't bring it up later. Do you recall me saying this with many of the 21 scripts we've been talking about over the last year on these coaching calls? Yes, good. But we're all human. We all make mistakes, and sometimes we will get an objection. So how do we overcome that objection when it comes up? Well, number one, the best way to do it is overcome it before they bring it up. So, and if they say it is true. So what's the only way to overcome the objection? The client admits they are wrong. How many people like to admit that they're wrong? So if I let them have objection and I say the field felt found, they have to admit that they're what? Wrong. And how many people want to admit that they're wrong? None. So how many objections are new? When you get an objection, how many objections are objection like, whoa, I've never heard of that before? Virtually none. How many are unexpected? So you need, do I expect objections when I get into it? Yes, I do. Even when I'm doing my meeting perfectly, am I ever surprised by an objection? No, because they know I'm trying to get them to move all their money to me. And again, I do everything possible to lower that resistance level, but with a non-financial, with getting on their side. I mean, I try. But in the back of their mind, it's still a little itch that all Mike wants to do is to move their money to me. So should I expect an objection here or there, or for them just to roll over for me? I'm going to expect an objection here or there. How many objections are not valid in their minds? How many objections are not valid in the client's minds? None. That's right. They're all valid. From their current point of view, they are valid. And there's 4 types of objections. One is they don't trust you, or they don't trust your solution, or they don't trust your company. 2 is they don't perceive they need to move because they're doing okay. They see no value that you're providing they don't already have. Number 3 is no urgency. I'll do this after vacation. I'll do this after summer. I'll do this after my kids graduate college. I'll do this later. Number 4 is they have no money. Well, there's nothing we can do with that. But can we overcome all of these before they bring them up? Lack of trust. Well, how do we deal with lack of trust? We give 7 acts of value in the first 10 minutes, the non-financial things that we do or do not get paid for. We do not get paid. I used to tell people I make $1 million a year by doing things I don't get paid for, because it was doing those non-financial things that made them trust me with the rest of the information that I gave them. So our lack of trust issue is solved by those 7 non-financial issues and having them tell me that I would be a bad advisor if I didn't do those things, which lays the blame on their current advisor. How else do we handle the lack of trust? Well, we don't tell, sell, preach, or teach. So the way we use motivational interviewing, the way the scripts are designed, if they don't trust one of the things I'm pointing out, who is it that they don't trust? If I'm pointing out risk reward, if I'm pointing out tenure, if I'm using the script for fees, if I'm using the script for a diversification, if they don't trust that script, who do they not trust? Who's supposed to be telling them they're not diversified? Who's supposed to be telling them they have more risk than the return they're getting? Who's supposed to be telling them every single thing? That's right, John, themselves. They're supposed to be telling themselves that. So if they don't trust what I'm saying, that means they don't trust what? Themselves. And how many people don't trust themselves? See, who's the only person they believe? Themselves. So do we deal with lack of trust by using motivational interviewing, by not telling, preaching, or teaching? They have nothing to say that I'm wrong with. They have nothing to say I distrust you with. They have nothing to say. I don't give them a foothold to say they can't trust me because I don't say anything. They say everything. I make them invite us in. We show them what's behind the curtain. I'm patient. Do I ever at the end of the meeting, at the end of any meeting say, okay, so next meeting, let's get together and do all that paperwork? No, I end every meeting with this. I don't care if it's the second meeting, third meeting, fourth meeting, or if something's going bad, the fifth meeting. I'm always going to end say, so we've covered a lot today. Let's give time for the dust to settle. Let's send you home. You come with some great questions. Then we'll come back. We'll answer those questions, and then we'll just move forward at your pace. I say that at the end of the second meeting. I say that at the third meeting. I say that at the fourth meeting. If it goes to the fifth meeting, I go to the end of the fifth meeting. What am I telling them? Am I patient by using that? Do I sound like a salesman when I do that? Or do I sound like a consultant? Do I sound like their doctor? Do you get that? So we're patient. These are the ways we handle lack of trust.
Hey, Mike, are you there? Mike, are you there? Okay, so I just see a chat from Mike that says his power just went out in his neighborhood. So hold on one second here, guys. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just going to see if he can get in with his cell, so at least he can talk through it on his cell. So just bear with me just a second. Sorry about this, guys. I'm just trying to figure out if we can get him on just on his cell phone. He won't have access to the slides, so I'm just trying to see what our options are. So sorry about that. Okay, guys. Well, I think we've come to an abrupt ending of our call here because we can't get him on to see the slides because they're on his computer, of course, which is plugged in. So I think we're going to have to wrap things up and finish this up the next time, or and then we'll also have to cancel the scripts call for today because he won't have any access to being able to take you guys out onto the website. So I apologize, but this is what technology does for us, I guess. So we depend heavily on it in order to show you guys exactly what's going on. So I apologize, but I think we're going to have to wrap up the call here. And next week is actually Juneteenth, so we will be off next week as the offices will be closed, but we will be back at it on Monday the 26th. So I apologize for a power outage, but hopefully we'll be back at it here soon. So thanks, guys. We'll see you on the 26th. Take care. Bye-bye.